Good morning, you're from FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. I'm in Mountville, Pennsylvania at AHF Products headquarters, and I'm with Carson and Don Finkell. You guys doing okay today?
Doing fantastic, Kemp. Nice seeing you.
Yep, doing great.
I want to talk about this news last week of the acquisition of American OEM by AHF Products. We'll get to that in just a minute. First, though, real quick, Brian, if you would, how's business?
Business is fantastic. Demand is overwhelming. We're taking every step every day to produce more and to get more product to the customers, but demand couldn't be better.
So, especially now with this acquisition of American OEM, I think it's safe to say that AHF Products is probably the largest American producer of hardwood flooring, wouldn't you say?
I would say so, for sure.
And the consumer rigid LVT was taking some market share. Is the hardwood business maybe taking back some share?
Demand for hardwood this year has been absolutely fantastic. On the engineered side, as well as on the solid side. I mean, pre-finished solid, with the growth in single-family homes and single-family remodel in suburbs, that's the power alley of where hardwood thrives, and that's what we're seeing in the marketplace. So demand for hardwood is fantastic everywhere, but the demand for our vinyl products and the new laminate products that we've launched are fantastic as well.
Actually, I just was introduced to that. We'll get to that maybe in just a minute if we have time. So, Don, people know your history. They know that you were the son-in-law of Bob Anderson, who started Anderson Hardwood. You sold to Shaw Industries. You stayed there for a couple of years. You left, went off on your own, started American OEM. One more prison situation where I know you're conscious about the whole recidivism, making prisoners have something to do after they get out. I guess the big question to ask, why sell?
Well, I think I'm not a spring chicken anymore. As you start looking forward to what you might want to do, you always think, I've got more grandchildren now, I probably need to spend a little more time there. When you have a business, especially in the conditions that we've had the last few years, it's pretty much all-consuming. And so for me, I still have a passion for the business. Some parts of it I love more than others, and this gives me a chance to maybe download some of the more difficult parts of it and concentrate on the things that I really enjoy and which I think I bring more to the party.
Saying you delegated up the stuff that you didn't want to do it.
Well, it was a good choice for everybody concerned, including me and Emily. But for the customers, for the employees, for our vendors, I want to see what I started continue to grow, and I think this is the best way to do that.
Why did you end up with AHF Products, you think?
Well, I think AHF, they come from a pedigree of making hardwood floors. And they're the biggest, and I think they have the ambition to grow that. And there are others out there that are hardwood only, but I don't see the breadth of resources or impact on the market that AHF has.
Will you continue to live in the Dalton area?
Yeah, I don't have any plans to move to Mountville. I haven't been asked to yet. I've only been here a couple hours.
When we acquired the LM business, our LM offices are still in the Dallas area. And we like it that way, that the brands, the LM brand, the Timber brand, the marketing, the product development, the merchandising, it has its own flavor as a result of that. And we're going to look to grow the American OEM brands, having them have their own personality and us just feeding it with more investments. That's the strategy.
Well, Don, I got to ask you, though, you're an entrepreneur, okay? You've built family businesses. You built your own business. So you think you're going to be able to stay in the corporation here? Is this a long-term move for you?
Well, I hope so. I'm impressed with the team here. There's not a lot of, extra people involved in the process. I mean, it's pretty flat. And I like that. Brian has a history of getting a lot of things done and building things. And, I feel like we have good chemistry. And I like the chemistry of this team.
Brian, deja vu a little bit. You and I guess 7 years ago, where you were the president of Mohawk, and you were acquiring IVC, and we did an interview. That acquisition went well, so this is not new to you. Tell us now, from a manufacturing base, AHF Products has plants where?
We've got 8 plants. We've got 7 in North America, and we've got a very large one in Cambodia that's expanding again, so it'll be even larger as we roll into next year. And we're going to be looking at using Don and the American OEM's talent and expertise on how do we design different things out of those facilities. With the American OEM acquisition, that gave us another plant in the United States, U.S. capacity, which we very much needed. Again, unique capabilities. And we're going to look to see what new products we can get out of those plants, but also see, Don's going to be over at our Somerset plant tomorrow to see what new things we can develop out of our existing capabilities as well. So we're super excited about this.
Yeah, I saw what he was able to do when he came over with Shaw in the South Pittsburgh factory. So you got a smart one here. He's going to be a big part of the team.
No kidding. You were talking earlier, Kemp, I've been doing this a long time as well, not as long as Don, but a long time. It takes a lot of resources to grow national brands today. The expense, the develop, particularly if some of the product is coming offshore, whether you make it or you buy it and resell it. It takes a lot of investment in marketing, merchandising, inventory, product development, and I think we're fortunate at AHF that we're able to invest those resources behind good ideas. And I was thoroughly impressed with the growth ideas that Don had, and we're going to look to invest some capital behind some of those ideas. So I think it's a perfect match.
I didn't go through your history. I should mention, before you came to Mohawk, you were at Armstrong. So this is something you have sawdust in your veins as well, right?
Yeah, sure do. Not as much as Don, but I got enough.
Quick second, I learned today that you guys are in the laminate business, which is something I'm just learning, so that's interesting. But still, I think when you step back and you look at AHF Products, your core is still going to be hardwood products, right?
We've got 8 plants that manufacture hardwood, but our distributors, our retailers, we've got wonderful brands. We have 10 brands now. We have 13 brands with the American OEM combination. But we've got some really Bruce brand. There's only one Bruce. And those brands, some of those brands transcend product categories. They stand for flooring. And our distributors and our retailers are looking for more products that they can put under some of those brands. So it was natural for us to branch into vinyl plank, into commercial, and now into laminate. So we're shipping our first Bruce laminate to distribution actually this month. It's pretty stuff.
Yeah, most people know your last acquisition was Parterre. So AIP has made some major investments to make you the leader in the business, right?
Yeah, so our roots are in hardwood, but we're growing into a complete flooring company, both commercial and residential, in all the product categories. But our roots are going to be in hardwood.
All right, guys. Thanks for spending time with our listeners. Congratulations to you, Don, for selling your company to AHF Products, and congratulations to you for getting Don in his business. Again, we're talking to Brian Carson and Don Finkell here at AHF headquarters, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.